Hello, this is Sandra with Framework Math. I do see these being used in small groups and hopefully really open and go, ready to just walk through the activities used with minimal lesson planning, just kind of open and go. To either with younger students, give them, just do every activity as it goes, give them a really good foundation in developing number sense, or with older students for remediation to kind of help them quickly get caught up to their current grade level standards. Okay, so the first book is Laying the Foundation. This one's really critical to use first to some degree, however you end up using it, whether you literally just go through every activity in it or kind of teach many lessons based on it and then use the games and the flashcards as your activities in the small groups. So I've color coded and laminated. You could use the flashcards that are provided in the back here or do a little bit of extra work, have these. These are great for just doing continual daily review on the key concepts from this book. I have, these are really easy to make. I don't know if you have the full rec and rec or small ones, but some type of rec and rec, whether it just goes to 20, if you're just working with younger kids, or the full 101 will get you through the entire addition book and multiplication book up through multi-digit addition and multiplication. Okay, so the big idea with the Laying the Foundation book is we're helping kids subitize. So you want them to see numbers at a glance. And that's not just so that they're doing a cool trick with numbers. That's because everything that they see instantly with numbers, we want them to get a mental picture of it, because that is the framework for all of the 4 operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Here's a really quick example. Once they get used to subitizing and seeing all of the numbers, they'll be able to know when they hear the number 7, they'll see a group of 5 and 2 in their head. And that lends itself to everything that you want to build on it. So they'll see that there's 3 more. They'll see that 7 is 5 and 2. They'll be able to use that to, if they're adding, they can do a strategy like 7 plus 6. They'll see the 5 and 5 and then see the 3 left over, so they know it's 13. There's a lot you can do if you lay the foundation of subitizing. So subitizing is not just a skill for K1 or preschool. It's the foundation for everything that's going to come. So no matter what age students are, they need to go through the skills in this book. Now, how you actually carry it out depends on the students you're working with, but they have to have subitizing as the basis for everything. And then you have to, this book walks you through each section, has the skills in it. But if the students learn to see every number, so they'll subitize 1 through 5 is the first step, and then see every number 6 through 10 as 5 plus something else, and then see every number 11 through 20 as 10 plus something else. And this book for your kindergarten first graders spends a whole unit talking on the numbers, talking about the numbers 11 through 20, because in English, these numbers are not intuitive. We don't have the best foundation for helping our students learn that 11 through 20 is 10 plus something else. But the other numbers are better, 20 through 100. But we kind of, students get tripped up with these numbers, and then before they even move on, that can be a hindrance. So it really focuses on kind of teaching the math names and the concept behind what numbers are, and then using that just to build place value, because place value, if you know place value, you know how to add, subtract, multiply, divide. Okay, so my intention with these is to keep them super simple. We are using the rec and rec in 10 frames, and this comes with the book. Just laminate it, use it for each student. That's really all you need. Of course, you can use any other number of different manipulatives, but if you have the 10 frames in the rec and rec, you'll be able to go through all the activities in every volume that will ever be made of these, and give students help in subitizing, composing, decomposing numbers, building a really intuitive understanding of place value, and seeing, so building strategies. Every book, every one of the operations starts with single digit facts. We develop strategies based on how the numbers are arranged, and then stretch those to multi-digits. So the addition book spends a good amount of time working on single digits, and then we stretch our way up, or stretch them to work with bigger numbers. So let me use that to transition here. With the addition book, again, it depends if you're starting with younger kids, just start from page 1, or wherever it actually starts, page 17, and work your way through it. If you're working with older kids, they've been exposed to addition already, and they kind of don't need to go through everything in the beginning, I would still say go through it yourself to make sure that you can kind of do mini lessons presenting the ideas, but definitely use your judgment whether they need to do all the activities in the beginning. If you have older kids, you could certainly do a really quick glance through units 1 and 2, and then spend time on unit 3, because that's where you develop the addition strategies. So that unit 3 is kind of a deep dive into the addition strategies. Unit 4 is a really quick summary of those. So if you're doing remediation with older kids, you could even just go to unit 4. Ultimately, I do plan to have a condensed version of every book, so that older kids who are reviewing, sorry, I keep saying kids, I really mean to say students, can just go through and use these strategies to fill gaps, lay a solid foundation, and then build on that. But right now you'll have to adapt it a little bit if you are working with older students. Okay, so there's a lot of addition strategies, but again, big focus with all of this is simplicity. So building a framework, so we're going to build it solid so you can build everything else on it, but as simple as possible. So it's not overwhelming. It's easy to use, it's easy to understand, it's easy to remember. So addition focuses on, I have the page here, key strategies, and this page in the appendix kind of summarizes the entire book. So we have the count on strategy. If you just have +1 or +2, you're just counting on in the counting sequence. Make a 5 and subitize. So if kids have really mastered their subitizing skills, you can turn a lot of single digit addition into rearrange it so it's 5 plus something else. And then they're not counting, they're just seeing it because they know what it is. So I really like to tell students as I'm working with them, we're taking counting away as much as possible and really focusing on just seeing the numbers. Okay, with younger kids, I tell them that with younger students, the numbers are going to stand up and say their name to us. We're going to get to the point where the math does itself and it will just tell us what it is, because we'll get so good at seeing those numbers and knowing 4 plus 3, this is for younger students, but these strategies stretch 4 plus 3, they'll be able to see those groups and see that, oh, there's a hiding 5 in there, 5 and 2. You don't even add 5 and 2, you don't count. 5 and 2 is one of the subitized ones. So you know 5 and 2 is 7. Okay, so that's the idea behind that. And then complete a 10 is another strategy. 5 and 5 make 10 is the one I kind of talked about at the beginning. And then a lot of textbooks and programs make use of doubles as a strategy. Doubles is not technically a strategy in itself. You use all 4 of these strategies to find your doubles, but doubles are key. They're the foundation of the entire multiplication unit. They're really good to know. So work on your doubles using these, and then you kind of level up to the bonus strategies. Okay, so you get the 2 addition strategies that come from that, stair steps or plus or minus 1. Okay, so the whole book kind of builds this out. You can just spend as much time as you need until they've really mastered that. And then there's a game, card game, or just if you have number cards, you can play with that really reinforces. It's a super fun game to play. You can keep using it throughout the year to review those strategies for that. Okay, so that is what's out so far. Multiplication is probably not relevant to 1st and 2nd grade, but if you have older students who are using it, multiplication is on its way. If you're interested in a sample, let me know. I can help you with that. And then after multiplication, I'm going to cycle back and work on subtraction. And subtraction is going to include advanced addition. So this just keeps everything tangible and tactile. In the subtraction book, we're going to move to open number lines. And with that, we'll do addition and subtraction. So we'll give students even more mental math strategies to use all the skills, composing, decomposing numbers, but be able to think really flexibly about what works best in this situation. If you're adding 98 plus something, you don't have to add the 9 and the 8. You can bump it up to 100 and then bump the other number down too. Lots of things like that, just to help them get really comfortable with numbers. That's the number sense. And then confidence that they've done it right. They don't have to end every math problem with, am I right? I was a math teacher for several years, and that was besides Miss Polisky, that was the most common question is, am I right? Am I right? So we want to give them the power to know they are right. They're good. They can do this. And I hope that these books accomplish that goal for your students and that they're easy to implement for you. And please do feel free to stay in touch and let me know how I can be of assistance.